Good morning, Sne Sibeko, and welcome to our interview this morning. It's a collaborative opportunity for women of stature, nominees, members, winners to come and tell a little bit of their story in Women's Month so that they can actually encourage other women in business. So through African Brand Architects, we've collaborated to get the best possible content to our followers and get the most authentic voices to share the truth about what it takes to start, to continue in a business. So tell us a little bit about your business this morning, Sne.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me today. So I have an organization. So my business is called Sisikwa. And what I do is I offer free counselling and mentorship to raped and abused homeless women. What started the business, I think it was a post on social media. I posted that just randomly out of the blue that I just want to hug a street kid. And someone responded, why not? And I started doing that. I started greeting, I started hugging, I started engaging. And then I saw the need that, you know what, there's so much that is happening on the street, especially when it comes to women. So I started that campaign. And it's basically a campaign built on the foundation of love. It's built on the foundation of being a sister to those that feel they don't have sisters. It's built on a foundation of building a platform where women can engage with each other on a non-judgmental basis, where we can come together, we can speak about our problems, speak about our issues, or whatever it is that we go through. Even though I might not be able to provide them with shelter, I do refer them to homeless shelters, and I provide that sense of, that sense of worth, that sense that I am still a woman, I am still beautiful, I am still worthy, even though you've lost it by being on the streets and having no shelter and being rejected by your family or being seen as an outcast in society. I'm just there to say, you know what, it's okay. Let it out. Let's talk about it. Let's see moving forward how I can assist. What is it that you need? Do you need us to perhaps get a team to go and talk with the family to resolve issues? Do you need to be on any chronic medication? Do you need any food? So it's those basic services that I provide within the organization. And there is a lot of things that happen that we're not aware of. It's sad, it's depressing. So I think that even if I spend 10 minutes with any woman on the street, who is homeless, who is in need, that 10 minutes of seeing them smile, of forgetting their pain, of forgetting what it is that they are going through or that they went through, or perhaps them thinking of what they will be going through. I think that provides me with so much comfort, and it provides them with joy as well, that even though I might be seen as someone who doesn't have anything, but there is, Sne that sees me as someone who is something, and I just see the beauty within all women.
I mean, that's amazing. And in many regards, I understand that wanting women to feel seen and heard. I think a big part of community is having somebody to speak to, Sne, because how many women are suffering in silence, even men in silence, because they just don't know who to speak to. They don't have that one person that they can actually trust with the raw truth. And what you are dealing with on a day-to-day business is not pretty. It's painful, it's raw, it's real. And where do you go? So you've created this contact point. So a big part of my question is the why. Yes, there are people writing on social media. Yes, you do know, we all know there's a need out there, but not every woman is like you who says, I see the need and I'm going to be the one who actually brings the solution. There must surely be a bigger story behind that. Would you share your story with us?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. I think the biggest why factor for me is seeing someone, that we all have our doppelgangers and we all look like someone somewhere out there. So I saw someone who looked very similar to me, and we started having a chat. And what she said to me was, I wish we could swap places. And I'm thinking, swap places in what way? And she's like, I wish I could have a hot shower. I wish I could have a meal and I wish I could just open the door of a home and get the warmth of family. And that's when it hit me that, you know what, even though it's one person who said this to me today, how many more people or how many more women will be saying this to me tomorrow? Because when you think about it, and that's a thought that hit me, that it's not much that you want. You just want a warm bed to sleep in. You want a nice cup of coffee. You want a warm shower, and you just want to be in a place or a space where you feel loved and you feel warmth when you're in that space. So that's when it started for me. Like, as much as, you know, I mean, a cup of coffee, meeting up with someone, giving them a hug, giving them that blankets. As women, we all know that on a monthly basis, we have our monthly needs. Why can't I help with that? As much as being fortunate, you know, to have that, why can't I take that and give it to someone else? It's not costly to give someone a hug. It's not costly to say, hey, would you like a pie? If you see someone selling on the street, selling mealies or selling you know, eggs or selling fruits and vegetables. If there was a woman out there that just wants a meal, and I mean, an apple is what, R5, and I have that, then why not? So I think that that's where it started. I just felt, I thought it was a message from God, actually, that there's someone out there that looks like you, even though it's not you. What do you have to offer these women that I've placed out there? So yeah, it started like that, and it's very emotional. It's very hard, and it's raw, and there are things that are happening out there that we can never imagine. But when something is a calling and you've been called to do it, and you really can't run away from it, and you do find the strength to deal with it. You do find the strength to find peace in the work that you're doing, and to find peace with the people that you are, you know, you're working with. Not all women out there are good women. We do have the aspects of the drugs, and we do have the aspects of just, you know, being someone that doesn't want to take or listen to the rules at home. So we do have those as well, but we cannot sideline anyone, because I think in every woman's life, at some point, at a stage or a phase in our lives, we were rebellious as teens, or we did go through a phase where we don't want to listen. We think we know it all. So every person deserves a chance. Every person deserves to feel loved, whether it's a friend or a stranger like myself, or even family.
I think it's, you know, what you're saying is so profound, that one person said to you, I wish I was you. I wish I was you. And that wish was just wrapped up in like a hot shower. Like, I wish I could have a hot shower. Like, how many people today are going to be watching this interview that are sitting at home, that maybe they may have a home, but they might not have hot water? Or they may have a home, but maybe they're struggling to put that money together, to put their groceries together. Or they have a home, but they're not happy in the home. There's no peace in the home, or there's a problem child in the home. And that idea of women looking at each other, actually, and it cuts through social class, up and down. That you would look at someone and say, I wish I was you. I wish my life was simpler, or I wish I had a shower, or I wish I had someone to talk to. I wish I had a friend.
And it's simple. It's simple things, because I agree with you 100%. Having a bread tin doesn't mean there's bread. Having a fridge doesn't mean there's milk. So if there's someone that can offer that and provide that, then, and if I'm that person and I have the ability at that time, then I'm really not losing anything.
Yeah. No, look, it's amazing, but it's one person and one line. I wish I was you. And that was the catalyst. And I agree with you. It is kind of like hearing something from another world that touches your soul and then changes you forever. It's your aha moment, that you realize, okay, I can make the difference in these little acts of kindness, but compound them and get other people involved. So I mean, the industry that you're in is a tough one, because it's abuse, it's rape. You see the real evil of this world. Can I ask you, what has been the most difficult challenge for you to overcome as a worker in the industry? Not maybe what you saw, because I'm sure you've seen some horrific stuff, but personally, what you've experienced that has been really, really tough for you?
I think what the toughest thing for me, it has to be the acceptance of rape for the purpose of having clothes on my back, for the purpose of having food on the table. I think there's so many different aspects of rape, but the worst is rape from a family member. And you can't say anything, because if you say something, then there's no food for the whole household, simply because you spoke one word of one person. So I think for me, it's very hard. It's very hard, and we still live in a world, in some families that do have the stigma that it's just an uncle. Keep your mouth shut. He's the one that's feeding us. He's the one that's keeping the lights on. He's the one that's doing A, B, and C. So it's very difficult, and it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking that because you're a family member, and in some communities, we still have the sense of, what will people say? No, you can't say that. What will people say? So I think that I also want to attack that. We need to get over it and be in a place whereby, yes, people always talk, and yes, people will say this and people will say that, and yes, you might lose that that bread or that plate or that jacket because you've spoken up, but you need to hold your dignity. You need to hold your self-worth. You need to produce yourself first, and you just need to, don't ever forget that you're a woman, you're beautiful, and whatever is being stolen from you physically, by speaking about it, by reporting it to the channels that we can report it to, it needs to fill up that place of emptiness and that place of not being worthy. So it varies. There's lots of different challenges out there, but I think that rape and abuse from a family member and being told to sweep it under the carpet, I think, for me, is one of the most challenging things that I do come across in this line of work.
No, I mean, it's amazing, and I don't think enough people speak about it. And I've been very open about modern day prostitution in a family, but you touch on it because you talk about rape, and it's not always a violent crime. It's not always a stranger in the park on a dark road. Yes, it does happen, but actually sometimes it happens in a very non-violent way, where a woman is taken advantage of sexually for the clothes on her body, for her children's school fees, for the food on the table. It's not the violent part of it, but the perpetrator knows exactly what he's doing. And I speak about it in other forums, saying it's modern day prostitution, to sell yourself for sex so that you can have a roof over your head. And yet it's a lot more common than what people realize. Just because you're not being beaten up physically doesn't mean that you're not being raped. And this is a different conversation altogether, Sne. I mean, I think we could have a different interview for it, but I think to acknowledge that, and where do those women go? Because it is happening in their home, it is happening in their family, it's happening over a number of years, and it is abuse.
It definitely is, and because it's been happening over such a long period of time that to get food we need to do this, to get food or to get money or stationery for your children or to get clothes on your back. This is what you need to do. These women, they've normalized it. It's like, so what? I've been doing it. It's normal. And what's sad is that the pain of this abuse happening, that they're supposed to be feeling, they're not feeling it anymore. So they're numb now to this situation. It's become such a norm simply because there's no like physical attack, or there's no swearing. It's like, you do this so you can get this, you do this so you can get this. So even the emotions are gone, because they're now at a point of, you know what, let me just do it. I've been doing it. So it's come to a point whereby it's not wrong anymore. It's life, and this is what my life is meant to be. So let's continue with what is, let's continue rather with what is happening to me, in which it shouldn't be like that. even though it's happening on a daily basis or a weekly basis, or regardless of how many occasions it happens on, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. You shouldn't lose emotion of hurt or emotion of anger or emotion of pain simply because it's something that is happening to you, on a daily basis. I mean, it's still wrong at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's that's why I say it's over a long period of time, in a long period of years. It's within families, very difficult, a lot of stigma and stereotyping, but also in many communities, very acceptable. Okay, so my last question for you today is, and I find the work you do absolutely fascinating, despite what you're seeing and despite how that's impacting your life, what keeps you in this business? What keeps you locked in and committed, regardless of the things that you're seeing and experiencing?
I think for me, it's the word thank you. When a woman comes and says thank you, I've healed, because I don't have a problem with giving them my number. I don't have a problem, with telling them to, inbox me on Facebook or send me, please call me, and I'll call you back. When someone says thank you, and I know that I've put my heart into it, that's what keeps me going. When I see a woman for the first 3 times and they cry, and then on the 4th time they're smiling, that's what keeps me going. I think that when someone feels good about something that I've done, or the words that I've said, or the encouragement, or the motivation, I think that it's the realness of the thank you, and the thank you being just so genuine that it doesn't need monetary value. It's just something that comes deep from within someone's heart who really doesn't have much to give. So the best that they can give is that thank you. And then when I receive it, it makes me very emotional, at some point, that this is what this person has. It's this thank you. And I'm at the receiving end of that thank you.
Well, I just want to tell you, Sne, you're an angel. Thank you for hearing the person that said, I wish I was you. And thank you for the incredible work you do as a champion in our nation, for being a touch point or a contact point for women who are facing a different kind of abuse and a different kind of rape in the family unit, that they have a person to talk to with no judgment, where they can find a level of support. It's not always financial, it's not always monetary, but really making women feel seen and feel heard. So from Women of Stature and African Brand Architects, we salute you today. Thank you for the amazing work. Thank you a million times. Thank you. And I hope that in the years that lie ahead, many more women will say thank you to you, that it will keep you upright and steadfast in your calling. Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.